Hey, Otto! Hi, how are you?
Welcome to April.
I have Otto here, who's actually one of the very first people, like literally the first person I met with when I landed in Accra, who introduced me to a lot of people. He's so well connected. He owns this really dope co-working space called Volta. I'm just excited to learn a little bit more about you, what you do, your co-working space, and who you are. So let's just jump right in. So what exactly is Volta?
What's Volta? I'd say Volta is literally a space that I created out of a need for myself, right? When I moved back from the States.
Because you
grew up in Ghana, went to boarding school in the States, in Connecticut, then took a gap year, then college, then moved back to Ghana, right? When I came here, I realized I was working from coffee shops a lot, so Cafe Kwai, D Cafe. And one time I did some calculations, right? And I was like, wait, I'm spending way too much money in these places, right? So how about I come look at a space my mom has owned for 30 years.
Wow.
And she used to run a hair and nail studio out of here. So it's like, look, you have some savings, just figure out a way to make sure that you have, you calculate your costs and whatnot, rent out space from her for 3 years and fix up the space, make a co-working space. You can I could run my companies from here and then have other people essentially come pay me to do the same thing, right?
Exactly.
So,
how convenient.
So yes, that's right. But like my office in the little corner there, and people just come sit around and do their work. Very convenient for me. Works for them as well because at the end of the day, the stuff that I need to work or be really productive or fast internet, coffee, and a quiet space, right? So it's not. Some people think it's an incubator or accelerator program. I'm like, I'd help you out with your business because that's what I do on like professionally.
No Accra hustler has just one.
Exactly. I'd help you out, but come here, put your earphones in, plug into Wi-Fi, and do your work. Like that's really all it is, right?
Yeah.
So that's Volta.
So what are the other businesses that you work on?
So I'm a consultant, right?
Yeah.
So I help companies kind of fix up their strategy. And growth plans, and then when we're done with that, I also act as a fundraising consultant, so I can help essentially startups, companies raise money. So help them fix up their pitch documents, their investment memos, help look at their financials, make sure that the entrepreneur is ready to answer any questions from an investor. I'm also going to be starting launching an angel investment fund with a friend of mine. We're looking first quarter, second quarter next year to start investing.
So
I think that space is very untapped.
So I'm curious because you spent a lot of time in the States, especially for schooling. Why did you decide to come back home instead of just getting a job in the States pursuing entrepreneurial ventures in the States?
So I think right from when I went to boarding school, I knew I was going to come back. Like, I don't know what it was, but I knew it was like, I didn't think America really had anything for me. As bad as that might sound. I think
that's an incredible realization for you to have had so quickly.
And a lot of my friends who, are in the States, like they're doing very well. But I just thought that maybe for me, it wasn't a place I wanted to be long term. I knew what I wanted to do on the continent. I knew how I wanted to contribute to our growth.
Right.
And in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, it's better to be on the ground driving this change than being in New York and trying to do stuff from there, right? So from, I guess when I was 16, 17, I knew I was going to come back. I applied for jobs. I got some really good not offers, just going through interview process. If I wanted to stay in the States, I would have stayed in the States. Like that wouldn't have been a problem. But I just felt my gut that look, like if you're gonna be working that hard doing IB or consulting, I might as well be exactly. I might as well be doing it for myself, starting something up rather than.
I think that's really important. I'm loving what you're saying here because one, I think that you recognize at an early point in your career that Africa is a beacon of not only opportunity but also hope for what we as young people and young Africans can do and build here on the continent. Like you said, why would I as a consultant be working 12, 16-hour days, not be putting that same energy, that same effort, actually building something here that's going to meaningfully impact my own people.
Yeah, but again, you also have to understand that it's not for everyone.
It's not, no, and that's the thing.
Right.
And so I've also recognized that, right? Because these are developing countries after all, and if you grew up in the States or whatever, or in the UK or in France, you're so used to a certain level of comfort. But I do think what's important though is that young people in the diaspora contribute, and perhaps even contribute financially. Sure. Because one of the biggest issues here for young entrepreneurs is getting the financial means to build what they want to build. Sure. So that's another alternative.
Yeah, of course.
Other people can contribute as well.
But then again, with the finance bit, I mean, people, you say that it sounds really nice, but where they put their money, right? So that's another thing that we kind of have to figure out. Like, okay, I'm in the States, I'm making $100,000 a year. I want to contribute $5,000 to something, right? Who do I give that money to? How do I make that money work?
And that's where your business comes.
I mean, it could, I mean, that's one we're kind of thinking about it, right? Like people who are outside who want to contribute, put money in.
How do they give to like a viable,
exactly,
business that is actually going to succeed?
Right.
Yeah, and you guys are doing like that vetting process with the businesses that you're working with, securing funding.
Exactly. So we're on the ground, and with this kind of thing, like I'm putting my money at stake as well, right? So everyone's putting 5,000, I'm putting 5,000. Everyone's putting 20,000, I'm putting 20,000 too. So it's not like give me your money, let me go play with it. Like I have a stake in it, so I also need to make it work.
Well.
Exactly.
That's dope. I love it.
Right. So that's a good way that we're thinking about kind of pushing this. I think it will work. We just need to get the structure right. Exactly. So
people, you need to come back. People need to come back.
Yeah, I keep
the
saying
entrepreneurs who have what it takes to make it, in harsher environments, whatever. You should definitely be coming back, because Goldman Sachs ain't easy. So if you're sitting there suffering, you get in at 6 a.m., you leave in at midnight. I think you're more than cut out to make it in Africa City. But thank you so much, Acho, for sitting with us.
No problem.
And let's check out your dope space.
Yeah, let's do that. Room that we use for meetings, where there's like one or two people who need to sit down. I'm getting a bigger table put in here, right?
Yeah.
So little conference room, more official type of vibe. The idea was to populate these with my books.
Yeah.
People who come here love it. I have a good number of clients who are paying monthly, and everyone else comes in for an hour, a couple hours.
And how do you advertise and find clients?
So mostly it's word of mouth, right?
Okay.
Because if I start doing a lot of advertising, it's gonna get filled up. Right? So I have when people come use the space, they tell their friends about the space. Everyone just comes in here and comes working. But yeah, we're doing good. So
I'm gonna come in here and edit some content.
No problem. Please. First hour off here.
Are you gonna charge me? I told check.
I'm trying to make money out here.
It's hard out in these streets.